Maybe I do like some kind of slam poetry of some
Nice.
kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huge congratulations on your debut.
Thank you.
I saw The Watch last week and it is a fantastic first feature.
Thank you.
You're around the same age as your dad was when he first made his film debut.
Yes, yeah.
Was there a pressure to follow in his footsteps, or did this just feel like the natural right time for you to step out alone?
I think it just kind of happened inevitably. I think for me, I very much use art to just sort of like deal with the emotions that I'm having. It's more of a survival thing for me. And this just so happened to be the form that I think I was drawn to playing in.
You said, emotions really drive you into the films that you make. So you kind of grew up in the public eye. For all intents and purposes, you really were watched yourself from quite a young age. Did that influence you in how you wrote the screenplay or even on your decision to make this film in the first place?
We did kind of have a very normal childhood. I think my dad did a great job of keeping us kind of like out of the Hollywood system and just focused on what was actually important. But definitely as I was moving into this form where suddenly my art is going to be judged and I am kind of susceptible to the opinions of other people, it was a fear I was having for sure. And so I think I channeled a lot of that into the movie. It kind of struck me early that it's sort of like an allegory for judgment and that emotion and how scary that could be. So I was able to sort of channel some of that.
A pretty big plot point of The Watch is that we have our four leads trapped in this room and they have to entertain this unseen entity every night.
Yeah.
So a question for you. If you were trapped in that room, what would you do to entertain the Watchers?
Maybe I do like some kind of slam poetry of some
kind.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, some kind of rhyme or something. Yeah.
That is a lot better than mine.
What would you do?
If I did, just I feel like this would kind of like, they'd be intrigued by that.
They would be so compelled by that. That would be awesome.
If I had to use one word to describe The Watch, I would say creepy. Like, my skin was crawling from the beginning to the end, and you really don't let up on that tension right until the credits roll. Were there any films or directors that influenced you when you were creating that continuous feeling of fear?
This is sort of something I've referenced in the past, but Antichrist was sort of a big reference for like the feeling of the film. I was very interested in approaching the story in a way where you don't get any breaks and you're sort of in one thing and only escalating as you move through it.
Dakota is a huge part of this film. And I was wondering if you could just tell me a little bit more about her casting. I mean, why was she the one for you?
She was very much just kind of someone that came to mind early. It was like an intuitive kind of connection that I felt with her. I think she's one of those actresses that just sort of like reaches through the screen to you and makes you feel connected to her. And I wanted to put someone at the center of this movie who felt like a kind of the universal young person's experience, and she very much felt like that.
Final question, because we are a cinema, I have to know, what is the very first film you remember seeing in a cinema?
I'm not sure.
Would it have been one of your dad's, maybe?
Maybe, very young.
Yeah, they're quite scary though, I don't know.
Yeah, I know he showed us, I think he showed us Lady in the Water first of those ones, so maybe one of those, but yeah, it was probably like some animated movie, Incredibles or something.
Oh, amazing choice.
I love that movie.